Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Rider Zero Spike back again once again. Today we here for Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 3. And in this episode we got the introduction to Gotchard's like new form, and we got the introduction to the other, well, not a real introduction, but we got an introduction to his rider form, which Valard, it's got two V's, Valard. I'll say Valard for now. But yeah, got Kamen Rider Valard, who doesn't henshin with a belt. He's a rider that henshins with a weapon. He henshins with his sword, which is just a big ass wrench sword. But hey, excuse my language, but just a big wrench sword. It look cool. Like we're gonna get to that. So this episode basically starts off with see some people in the city. They're chilling, having fun, laughing, everything. Just casual people hanging out, right? And then this guy walks up. This random dude with a suit and a bowl cut comes up there, and he's like, "Oh, y'all laughing, huh? Y'all laughing? Oh, I'm gonna give y'all something to laugh about. Oh yeah, yeah." And then he pulls out a weapon, and I guess he's about to go on a freaking, shanking spree, and his malice ends up attracting a kimmy. A little kimmy that was like basically possessing I guess he was like possessing a mushroom, and this kimmy's name is Veno, and Veno is a kimmy. He's a mushroom. He's a mushroom Veno, and so, well, he's a mushroom kimmy. Mushroom kimmy. My bad. His name is Veno, but he's a kimmy. He's a mushroom. So his malice ends up attracting him, and he ends up being pulled into this guy's body, which this guy transforms into a what's it called? Was it malgam? Yeah, malgam. He haven't gotten it yet, but he ends up transforming into a malgam. He transforms into a mushroom malgam, and he has the power to shoot these spores at you. And when he shoots the spores, it basically just makes you laugh uncontrollably. It's kind of like Joker's like laughing gas, where it basically makes you laugh and laugh and laugh until you unalive yourself. And these mushrooms grow on these people's heads and stuff, and he does that, and he doesn't do anything. He just like leaves after that. And we see our characters, which we get Ichinose. He's hanging out at the shop and stuff like that, and he's making food, and he's like super, like he has a lot of overconfidence in this episode, and he ends up going back to the school. When he gets back to the school, we end up seeing again the two other characters, the girl and the dude. I mean, he apparently he hates people, and so but he just lets his tablet talk for him. And the other chick who tries to sell him another Kimmy card, but he was like, no. Now but Ichino says like, nah, I don't want to do that, because if I want to naturally meet my kimmies. I want kimmies to be friends, stuff like that. And he looks at all his kimmy cards, and he's like, yeah, all these guys are my friends. I'm gonna. And so that's when Minato comes in, and he starts talking to everybody about how much how they're gonna go out and how they're gonna go and recapture all these kimmies, all 101 of them. But we know there's gonna be more kimmies. We know there's gonna be more than 101 kimmies. Like it's like Pokemon. You got the original 150 or 151, and you realize that there's another region over here. And so yeah, let's go. And there's like another 100 more. So we know there's gonna be we know that there's gonna be more kimmies eventually. So he tells them that they have caught a bunch of other kimmies off screen. We don't know what those kimmies even are. And I was like, I kind of wanted to know what those kimmies were. Like, you caught them off screen. I kind of would like to have a scene of that, maybe, or something of it. I mean, So we see that Minato ends up giving them a thing to like capture kimmies. I don't think he really didn't give one to Ichinose, but Ichinose may have one, but he ends up giving it's called the Kimmy Riser. A Kimmy Riser, basically, they go off and they it's able to capture kimmies. So everybody basically gets one. Everybody basically fans out to go capture any kimmies that they can find. So Minato ends up giving Ichinose he gives him a new kimmy card, which is Saraba Bushido. It was a samurai. I like this one. It was a samurai Kimmy, and this Kimmy is basically asleep, and it won't like listen to him technically. So they get he ends up leaving, and they end up going to. They end up everybody kind of fans out to go find some kimmies that they can capture, stuff like that. And we also saw that there's another amalgam out there, which we didn't see him we didn't see how he became amalgam, but this guy apparently is like he's like a shark, and like he's like a shark and a submarine. And apparently this dude, he already has the power of amalgam. He's able to transform into one, and he like captures girls, like he kidnaps girls, kidnaps women, and yeah, he's after Kudo in this episode. So he's like trailing her, following her around in this episode. We see that Ichinose is hanging out with Hopper. He gets the thing that amalgam is attacking, and it's the mushroom amalgam dude. He ends up going to find that guy, and he ends up fighting him. He ends up finding him. He fought him, and also his friend, the monster obsessed guy, his friend is there. His friend ends up taking a bunch of pictures of the amalgam, but he does end up getting infected by his spores. So that's when Ichinose comes in. He starts fighting the amalgam, and he tries to take him out with a rider kick. But amalgam blocks it. He blocks it with his head, mushroom cap. He ends up blocking it with his head, and he ends up infecting infecting Ichinose with this same spores. He doesn't laugh or anything like that, but he's infected by the spores, and his body gets really, really numb, and that's when the amalgam ends up leaving. That's when Minato comes in to save Ichinose. We see that Ichinose wakes up back at the base and stuff, and they tell him that his confidence kind of went down after that, because the Bushido would not listen to him. When he got there, he tried to henshin and use the Bushido Kimi card, but it wouldn't listen to him, and it uses its sword, and it actually like starts attacking him. So he ends up just going into his regular base form. When he goes into his regular base form, we see that he can't beat this Malgam and blocks his rider kick, stuff like that. So he's back at school, back at the headquarters of school, and he's talking to Minato and Kudo, and they basically tell him that they have a cure to the spores that they made like 100 years ago, that like alchemists made 100 years ago, and they end up giving it to him. And they also mentioned that all the people that were affected that day also got cured as well. And it also got me thinking, like, what about the other people, like, the day before? Was that the day or night before? Like, what happened to those people? Like, I hope, like, did they die? Like, because they didn't mention them. So I'm just like, did they die or whatever? But, yeah, so Ichinose, his confidence was kind of put down, because he says that he thought he knew how Kimmy's worked and stuff. So, he tries to find a way to get Bushido to listen to him and actually like acknowledge and talk to him. So he ends up going to like a martial arts school like looking dojo place, and he finds like a samurai like Bushido shrine there, and he puts the Bushido card on the shrine, and he actually picks up a boken, a wooden sword, and ends up doing some he ends up doing some slashes and stuff with it. And while he's doing that, that's when our other character, our Valard, he ends up popping up there, and he actually talks to Ichinose about like, yeah, man, apparently, he said, apparently I heard that you became the Kamen Rider, but apparently there had to be some kind of mistake with you being chosen as a Kamen Rider. So I would like to hand over that belt, bro. Hand over the driver. Hand it over. And Ichinose is like, no, I'm not giving you the freaking driver. And that's when he picks up a boken. We see Valard, he picks up a boken, and he starts fighting Ichinose with it, and he's kind of like whooping him with it. And then that's when Hopper tries to protect Ichinose, and then Ichinose jumps. The guy goes to hit Hopper, and then Ichinose jumps in front of him, and he ends up getting hit. And he's like, nah, man, kimmies are our friends. Kimmies are my friends. I'm not finna do that, And then that's when the Bushido car starts to react. When it starts to react, it ends up going back to, yeah, I guess he's acknowledged. That's his way of acknowledging Ichinose in that way, and that's when Ichinose ends up headbutting. He ends up headbutting Valard, and Valvar, he leaves, but he's just like, he said, hey, he said, don't walk around thinking you're a big shot just because you're a Kamen Rider, stuff like that. And then he ends up leaving. And then later on, that's when we get another attack by the mushroom cap dude. That's when Ichinose goes to fight him off. And yeah, he goes and ends up fighting him off. When he fights him, he ends up using his new form, which is a combination of Skibo and Bushido, and we got Skibo Bushido, or Saraba. It was Saraba Skibo, Saraba Skibo, a new form that he has right now. It looks okay. I don't know why, but it gave me a lot of Gaim vibes. It's the way the colors look. It's the way the colors in like the samurai shoulder part, the torso and shoulder parts look. It reminded me a lot of some. It has some Gaim action going on. So, and also the blade that he ends up using looks just like. It looks similar to the blade that Kawa used in his ninja form. It looked very similar to that. It was just, this outfit is like, this form is like red, orange, and silver and stuff. It looked kind of like that. If you guys think it looked like that, let me know down in the comment section below. If you think it looks, at least it looks similar, because it had an arrow function where it can shoot arrows. So he ends up defeating him. He ends up saving Venno, the mushroom Kimmy. He ends up saving him, capturing him, and that's when the guy tries to escape. Like, the dude tries to run off and escape, but then Kabuto uses his alchemy to wrap him up in some pipes. And when he wraps him up into support beams, wraps him up in these support beams, and then that's when our shark, the other malgam, the shark dude, the shark submarine guy, he shows up and he tries to capture Kudo. When he tries to capture Kudo, but she tries to run off, and he has a power where he can like make water appear up under them, and he makes water appear up under Ichinose and Minato, and she tries to escape. He makes some water appear under her, and he runs over to try to go kidnap her, and then that's when he gets intercepted by Valard, and we hear Minato say that, oh man, so I guess this guy was dispatched to fight this guy, or dispatched out here to find all the kimmies. And then we find out that there is a higher council. There's a whole organization of these Kamen Rider there's a whole organization of alchemists out there in other parts of the world. So this guy apparently has been dispatched by them, and we find out that his name is Kurogane Spanner, or I'll say Spanner, because Spanner sounds cooler. But his name is Kurogane Spanner, and this guy is Kamen Rider Valard. He ends up henching up and transforming into his form. He has a dope sequence. He has a dope henshin sequence. He henshins, like I said earlier, he henshins with his sword. He places his card, which is Mad Wheel, he places Mad Wheel into his sword, and he ends up transforming with it. And we did see him use another another Kimmy, which is like a dump truck kind of thing, and he ends up using that to deflect an attack from the shark malgam. He doesn't beat him, but he uses that to deflect an attack from him. And after that, our episode ends right there. The episode ends with kind of a cliffhanger. But let's talk about Kurogane. Kurogane, his suit does look freaking cool. One thing about him is that he doesn't say henshin. He says Iron Eyes. Like, when he transforms, he says Iron Eyes. Yeah, he doesn't say henshin or anything like that. And I feel like he looks pretty freaking powerful, pretty freaking cool. It's just I don't like his personality right now, because he's like that generic bare bones like rival character who probably has like a tragic past, and probably doesn't like kimmies for certain reasons. Like, he thinks that all kimmies are just tools to be used and stuff. They don't have a place in this world. He's that guy. And right now I don't like him, but his writer form I really do like. I mean, is he? I mean, he's considered a common writer, because there's other writers out there who don't use a belt to transform. Like, case in point, homeboy from Ghost, black and green dude, homeboy from Ghost. I can't remember the name right now, but yeah, him from Ghost. Yeah, he uses a gauntlet. There's other writers out there that don't use a belt, but he's cool. I feel like he's gonna grow on me. Right now, I don't like him. Right now, I just like his his suit. His suit looks absolutely dope. His suit looks better than Skibbo Bushido, like his Ichinose's new form. It looks, because Ichinose's new form reminds me too much of Gaim, and I love Gaim. It's my third favorite series, but it was just like, it just seemed kind of generic. Like, I just felt like, okay, cool. You gotta. Thing about it is, I don't think it's fire or anything like that. He does a lot of samurai ninja stuff, and it's cool. Like, he beats the malgam with like a tornado rider kick, which was dope. But yeah, the whole thing about them finding other kimmies like off screen, I kind of didn't like that. Like, and the pacing in this episode was like super fast. Like, you crammed in 2 malgams. Like, you crammed in 2 malgams and 1 malgam. We didn't even know where this guy came from. He just appeared. Like, we don't even know. Like, we saw his human form, yeah, but like, we didn't know this guy. Like, we don't even see it. We just know that he was tailing Kudo for like a good portion of the episode. He saw her capture a kimmy, because she captured like a pirate kimmy, but it doesn't say pirates, it says pilots. He sees her capture a kimmy, and then he ends up, trailing her for the rest of the episode, and finally makes his move, But other than that, like, the pacing was very fast. You crammed together 2 malgams in one episode. Like, instead of just having the whole the shark submarine guy, why didn't you just do a thing where you introduce the new form, and then the new form, we see Valard comes up and tries to fight Ichinose in his new form. I mean, hey, we got kind of like a rematch from the episode they did from earlier in the episode. Instead of doing 2 malgams and 1 malgam we know nothing about. But that's just me. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 3. Let me know what you guys think of Ichinose's new form. What do you think of Valard, aka Kurogane Spanner? And what do you guys think about this like alternate, alchemist organization out there? Are we seeing some evil organization action going on later on? Like, you guys let me know. But see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And remember to always say, stay henshined.